Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Hall, but you may call me Dr. Kennard. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. I hope you're all doing well this morning. Friends, families, small furry animals from Alpha Centauri, I just want to say it's a basic policy of mine. I don't like criticizing people on the left. I feel my time is best spent attacking the right, people who are theocrats, people who are fascists, oligarchs. Those are the people that I just personally like attacking. And who doesn't like that? But I saw this video by Bo of the Fifth Column, and this is the thumbnail. This is Bo right here. And this is basically just a series of suggestions on how to be a better skeptic, right? Because I think here on this channel, at least, we aspire to be better skeptics, being able to analyze news stories, being able to deconstruct, determining what is opinion versus what is news, right? And I saw this video, which I'm going to play part of it, and it raised one or two, maybe not red flags, maybe yellow flags. And I wanted to share this bit with you right here. And I'm going to awkwardly hit a few buttons and share this video. Links are in the description below to all the news stories we're covering. And I'm getting ahead of my critique there of Mr. Bo. So the name of this video is Let's Talk About Massachusetts State Police and Vaccines. And I queued it up to about 30 seconds into the video, as you can see. And let's just take a gander.
I am not somebody who has ever been accused of backing the blue. I'm a very strong critic of law enforcement. I've also pointed out that in my area, the departments are decent. They're decent because they're small, because they're rural, because they have to be responsive to the community, or the sheriff is no longer employed. We don't have a lot of the issues that other places have. And when they do arise,
So the logic that Mr. Bo is showing right now is that we don't have a problem here in my small rural area. The logic goes that if there's a problem with the police chief, then we will just vote him out. That is just fallacious reasoning, everyone. To say that small communities have less issues with policing because they're small, because they can fire the police chief, that doesn't work. How do we know what we know? How do we know what's real? By, at least with policing, we know what we know because of reports from maybe minority groups who are assaulted by the police, by body cam footage, in an ideal world, we would have transparent reports and audits of the police by third-party citizen groups. I just want to point that out. So let's see what else Mr. Bo has to say about his local police department.
They get dealt with pretty quickly, and not because there's public outrage. There was an incident pretty recently, a few jurisdictions over, where a deputy planted stuff on people. DA found out about it. DA reached out to the sheriff's department, talked to the brass. Brass talked to the guy, tricked him, got him out of his car, had other deputies search his vehicle, found it, arrested him. Guy got a lengthy sentence. Do you know what isn't in that chain of events? Public outcry. There was no leaked camera footage showing it or anything like that. They did it because this is one of the few areas that I'm aware of
So Bo is using this kind of a logical fallacy right here, is that this one instance is emblematic of all the instances, or most of the instances, in his small rural community. And to tell you the truth, everyone, the optics don't look good when a white guy starts talking about how good their small rural police department is without basing that assertion on facts, because that's how we know what we know. Once again, by facts that can be verified. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying it's sloppy. That's what I'm saying. It's sloppy. And I do want to thank Dee Parks for showing me this video. And I like Bo, don't get me wrong. I've watched several of his videos. The guy's smart. He's on point. But this particular part of this video that he dropped yesterday, it just sounded bells in my head. It just, the alarm bells started ringing. I would also say, and I'm just going to close out the video right now, everyone. And I would also say to Mr. Bo that if you could put links in the description for the news articles that you're citing, then that means that your viewers will not have to trust you specifically. They have a way of verifying what you say, right? Because it's less opinion based and becoming more reality based, or at least you can support your assertions that way. And so those are the few suggestions I have for Mr. Bo, the fifth column. Be a little bit more careful with your assertions, with what you say is real and what you quote unquote know. And then put links beside your Patreon account in the description. Right? Just put the links to the articles that you're. It's basic high school, everyone. It's basic high school. If you're quoting a source, if you're using a source, you should reference it somewhere. Right? And I don't want to insult anyone who likes Bo. Once again, I like him, but we should be aspiring to better skepticism, as well as better compassion for our fellow, citizens and non-citizens. And I hope that made sense, everyone. I hope that made sense. All right, I'm going to check out the chat and see how everyone is doing. But wait, there's more. Mr. Bo, in this particular article, did actually mention something, reference a story that we talked about yesterday. If you tuned in, you'll know that we talked about the story of state police officers here in Massachusetts that were going to quit. There are 20% of the officers in the state of Massachusetts, state police, that were going to quit because of the vaccine mandates. Now, this was not true, though the story I referenced yesterday came from a good source. There was an update last night, and I'm going to show you the update. Updated, Massachusetts State Police say only one trooper retired over vaccine mandate. So the original story was that 20% of Massachusetts state police officers were retiring or leaving the service because of the vaccine mandate. In all reality, only one Massachusetts state police officer, trooper, has left the force because of the state's COVID-19 vaccination mandate, a state police spokesperson said in an email to the Boston Globe late Monday. The department has been notified by our HR office of one trooper who has definitely stated that he will retire because of the vaccine mandate, spokesperson David Procopio said in an email to the Globe. It is our understanding that other troopers have indicated they may possibly resign or retire for that reason, but as of Monday evening, we are aware of only one. So the story shifted from 20% down to one person retiring because of the vaccine mandate here in Massachusetts. Did I mention the link to that story is below in the description? That's what I'll say. Now I'm going to go check out the chat before we move on to our next story. Let's see. Good morning, Tobin. Good morning. And Dee Parks, John Hudson. I'm caffeinating. I'm having my second cup of coffee right now. Yeah, John Hudson, thank you, John. Come on, sit down and hit the like. Thank you very much. Good morning, Dr. Mordecai. Jess M and Simply Secular Dave. Good morning. Donna, I'm happy to be here with you this morning. Hear that you are awake and here. What's up, Jessi Bear? Simply Secular Dave. Am I getting everyone? I think I'm getting someone. Rage. What's up, Rage? I'm interested to see if Rage thought the same, if he saw the video of Bo, if the same alarm bells rang off in your head. Let's see. I think I got everyone down here in the chat. Good morning, Grant Farmer. And so, yeah, Dee Parks, it struck me as a hurried video, to tell you the truth. And I've done hurried videos too, right? And it's difficult to produce content every single day, right? While living your life and doing things in the world. So I felt that it was a hurried video by Bo the Fifth Column. But still, it's important to, note where people may fall short. All right. Came right in at the end. We'll check it out. Okay, Rach, cool. I'm interested in your opinion, sir. And of course, I'm interested in everyone else's opinion, because maybe I am just full of crap. Maybe, perhaps, probably. All right. What's the next story we're covering, everyone? Long-term COVID. Long-term COVID. We can't, it's a pandemic. It's difficult to do anything without COVID lurking in the background. Is it behind me right now? I hope it isn't. And is there a graph? There's a graph to this story. COVID, 37% of people have symptoms 6 months after infection. A large study reveals the scale of long COVID with symptoms affected by sex, age, and severity of infection. Let's check it out. 1 in 3 people infected with coronavirus will experience at least one symptom of long COVID, a new study suggests. Much of the existing research into the condition, a mixture of symptoms reported by people often months after they were originally ill with COVID-19, has been based either on self-reported symptoms or small studies. Now, researchers at the University of Oxford, the National Institute for Health Research, and the Oxford Health Biomedical Research Center, BRC, have shed light on the scale of the problem after studying more than 270,000 people recovering from coronavirus in the U.S. So that's a big sample size right there. That's a big 270,000 people. They found 37% of patients had at least one long COVID symptom diagnosed 3 to 6 months after infection. The most common symptoms were breathing problems, abdominal problems, fatigue, pain, and anxiety or depression. I'm not telling tales out of school. My buddy Del McGowan over at the at the Pathos non-religion channel, he also wrote Atheist for Dummies. He founded Foundation Beyond Belief. He had COVID, and he had a nasty cough actually for quite a while after he officially, I hate doing air quotes, after he officially recovered. Let's take a look at the graph. There's an infographic right here. Anxiety or depression was the most common of 9 core long COVID symptoms reported among 270,000 people recovering from coronavirus in the US. And you can see the big one there is anxiety and depression. Abnormal breathing comes in at 8%, along with abdominal symptoms, chest and throat pain, fatigue. The brain fog is what personally scares me, along with the pain. I guess other pain and muscle pain, all of those things, level up my anxiety levels a bit, everyone. So it isn't just the flu. Here's the last panel. Long COVID symptoms were more frequent in those who had been hospitalized, and they were slightly more common in women. The study published in the journal PLOS PLOS Medicine showed different factors also influenced which of the symptoms people were most likely to experience. For example, older people and men had more breathing difficulties and cognitive problems, whereas young people and women had more headaches, abdominal symptoms, and anxiety or depression. Link in the description below. So when people just talk about COVID, it doesn't kill that many people out of all the gaggles, out of 100,000. What is it? And we talked about this yesterday. In Trump country, 47 out of 100,000 people die from COVID. And that number may not be that big, but when you think about the walking wounded, the people who are affected with COVID, then the problem just gets bigger and bigger. I'm going to check out the chat. and see how everyone's doing there. Well, you're right. That is underreported. The number of deaths are underreported. The Economist 2 weeks ago, the magazine The Economist, did a good report on the fact that we've been underreporting the deaths from COVID. And of course, the real damage to individual lives as well as the economy, because remember, this is an economic issue too, though we need to be focused on people that, you have people running around with these symptoms of long COVID, maybe for the rest of their lives. That has an effect. All right, did I? Well, this is it, Dee Parks, right. Symptoms of being an American. Yes, I think that there should be some kind of psychiatric diagnosis of American-style capitalism. That's what I think. Do I have a video too? I have a video, everyone, of Bernie Sanders. It's a treat because I'm not going to speak for Mr. Sanders, for Senator Sanders, but I did want to share with you this little glimmer of hope. Maybe not even a small glimmer of hope. The name of this video is "We Are on the Verge of the First Defeat of Big Pharma in U.S. History." Hopefully, this will put a smile on your face.
In America, it is not the United States Congress that regulates the pharmaceutical industry. It is the pharmaceutical industry that controls the United States Congress. They never lose. They control the United States Congress. The American people have got to stand up right now and make it clear that no American should die because they cannot afford their medicine. What we want to do is have Medicare negotiate prescription drug prices. We're going to reform and expand Medicare, and I'll tell you how we're going to fund that. By having Medicare negotiate prescription drug prices with the pharmaceutical industry. What this bill does, among many other things, is tell the pharmaceutical industry we're going to end their greed. We are finally going to take on the greed and thievery of the pharmaceutical industry. The United States is the only major country that does not sit down with these drug companies and negotiate a reasonable price. Our people cannot afford the medicine they need, but these people, year after year, make outrageous profits. We are on the verge, I hope, of finally bringing about the first defeat of the very powerful pharmaceutical industry in the history of this country.
The reason why I showed that video is because I've been screaming at my TV every once in a while, because there are these ads a couple of times a night while I'm watching CNN about fighting, of course, funded by the pharmaceutical industry, right? These ads are funded by the pharmaceutical industry, by their PACs, by their lobbyists, and they just want things to stay the way they are. They don't want the government to negotiate drug prices, right? Because then they just wouldn't be making as much money. And so I thought I would share that with you. To those of you in other countries who don't know everything that's going on in the States, or maybe if you live here in the States and you're unaware that shortly, perhaps, drug prices are going to go down. It's a real possibility, everyone. Love Bernie. Yeah, me too, Donna. Me too. Simply Secondly, Dave goes, if you're saving up to have enough money to join multi-level marketing, you might be an American. Yeah. People do things not in their best interests when they're scared, poor, without health insurance. And maybe multi-level marketing programs are a symptom of toxic capitalism. Marmaduke Scarlet, good to see you here, sir. 4.55 million deaths worldwide from COVID. Yep. And 2,000 a day dead now. That's right, Lee. That's right, here in the States. Yep. Jessi Bear, every place around me is begging for people to work because so many people have died or have long-term symptoms and can't work. Yeah. I can see that. There is definitely a labor shortage. All right. How are we doing for time? We're doing well. So I just want to remind you, no ads on this channel, everyone. Totally funded by you, YouTube members, patrons. If you want to PayPal me, if you want to Venmo me, everything is in the description below. So do I have time for one more story? Do I have time for one more story? I think I do. Just a reminder too, we're doing the after party after show, which is an open room for atheists, progressives, humanists. Link to be on the panel is also down there. Wow, a lot of links, Andy. A lot of links. All right. Last story. If you haven't heard the good news, this came out a few days ago. Guess who got banned off of Fox News? I guess it's no surprise. It's Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani is officially in the trouble bubble. He's officially been timed out. He's in the corner. I've heard it's for 3 months. Politico reported last Friday that Donald Trump's former personal attorney has been barred from appearing on the conservative network for 3 months. Giuliani, who appeared frequently on Fox programs to spout false claims of election fraud, is battling a $1.3 billion defamation suit from Dominion Voting Systems. Oh, we covered that story a number of times. The company is also suing Fox News for $1.6 billion for allowing guests like Giuliani to make the claims on its airwaves. Fox has filed to dismiss the lawsuit. Another voting systems company, Smartmatic, is suing Giuliani, Fox News, and others for $2.7 billion. Just let all that positive energy flow through your monitor, your phones, your screens. That's so much positive vibes. I don't even know what to do. I don't know if I can contain myself. So yes, basically Fox News stated, we're not going to have Giuliani on because, or he hasn't been on because he's not relevant. He's not relevant. Giuliani was just on Steve Bannon's podcast complaining, kvetching about how he's not on Fox News. He's been blacklisted. Good news, everyone, in general, that Rudy Giuliani is in the trouble bubble over at Fox News. Good times. Good times. We covered a lot in this, 23 minutes? Our time together does go pretty quickly. At least it does for me. Is it my 3-year anniversary with a girlfriend too? Today is 3 years. It's been a great 3 years, to tell you the truth. But I wanted to say happy anniversary, girlfriend. Looking to many more anniversaries with you. All right. I don't want to get maudlin. I don't want to get emotionally sentimental here. Let's do something funny, everyone.
If it weren't for these friggin' windows, imagine the murder I could be doing. I could murder that, and that, and I could murder the bleep out of that. Damn it.
There's nothing like a cat video to put a smile on your face, right? All right. See, I'm going to check out the chat one more time. Hey, what's up, Thea? Glad to see that you're here. Laughing disbelievers we are. All right. So Rage says, okay, yeah, coming from a very small community, police in these communities can be brutal. Bo is just wrong, using his experience to correlate what goes on throughout the state or the country. Thank you, Rage. I just appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not just saying thank you because you agree with me. You could have told me that I'm full of crap, but at least I feel good that you took the time to look at the video and put a response down there. Dee Parks says, my grandpa was the only sheriff in a super tiny, itty bitty area. Yeah, it was not cool. Well, made some bad correlations there. His end message was solid enough, and I agree with that. Was solid, though, about the number of cops quitting. This is true. All right. I'm going to drop the video thanking YouTube members and patrons. I'm going to see you all hopefully at 9:30 for the after party after show. Take care.